Welcome to Worthixa, where smart money decisions create a better future. What if everything you believe about money is wrong? Watch until the end. What if I told you that the biggest thing keeping you from financial freedom isn't your salary, your education, or even the economy? What if the real obstacle has been inside your mind all along? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at money the same way again. Before you watch this video, I want you to make one promise to yourself. For the next few minutes, forget everything you've been told about money, success, and what's possible for your life. This isn't a video about getting rich overnight. It's not about chasing shortcuts, and it's definitely not about magical thinking. This is about something far more powerful. The invisible beliefs that quietly shape every financial decision you make. From the moment you were born, your mind has been collecting ideas about money, success, failure, and your own potential. Most people never question those ideas. They simply live by them. Without realizing those beliefs may be the very reason they're stuck. In this video, you'll discover how your mindset influences your habits, how your habits shape your future, and why lasting wealth begins long before money ever appears in your bank account. You'll learn practical principles for building a stronger mindset, recognizing limiting beliefs, developing self-discipline, creating value, and taking consistent action toward financial growth. But here's one request. Don't just watch this video. Study it, reflect on it, challenge your own thinking as you listen. Because one new idea, embraced and acted upon consistently, can change the direction of an entire lifetime. So take a deep breath, put away every distraction, open your mind, and let's begin the journey toward becoming the person capable of creating the future you've always imagined. Part 1. The invisible wall between you and wealth. Have you ever looked at someone who built extraordinary wealth and wondered, what do they know that I don't? Why do some people seem to attract opportunities wherever they go, while others work harder every year and still feel stuck? Is it luck? Is it talent? Or is there something deeper, something invisible, quietly shaping every financial decision you make without you even realizing it? Here's a thought. Imagine two people walking into the same city on the same morning. They have the same amount of money in their pockets, the same number of hours in the day, and access to the same opportunities. 5 years later, one has built businesses, investments, and financial freedom. The other is still living paycheck to paycheck, wondering why life never changes. What happened? The difference wasn't the city. It wasn't the economy. It wasn't even intelligence. The biggest difference was the story each person believed about money. Most people think wealth begins in a bank account. It doesn't. Wealth begins in the mind. Before every successful company existed, it was just an idea. Before every investment created millions, someone first believed it was possible. Every physical result starts as a mental decision, and that leads us to one of the greatest misconceptions about money. Many people spend years trying to change their income without ever changing the mindset that created their current income in the first place. Think about that. If your habits stay the same, if your beliefs stay the same, if your daily decisions stay the same, why would your financial future suddenly become different? The truth is uncomfortable. Most people aren't trapped by a lack of opportunity. They're trapped by invisible limits they've accepted as reality. These limits often begin in childhood. Maybe you heard people say, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. People like us never become wealthy. Those sentences may seem harmless, but repeated often enough, they quietly become part of your identity. Years later, whenever an opportunity appears, those old beliefs whisper, that's not for someone like you. And without realizing it, you step back, not because you aren't capable, but because your mind has already decided what feels normal. Now ask yourself an honest question. How many dreams have you abandoned because they felt impossible? How many ideas did you dismiss before even trying? How many opportunities passed by because fear sounded more convincing than possibility? Most people never ask these questions. They stay busy, busy working, busy paying bills, busy surviving. But very few pause long enough to examine the beliefs driving their lives. Imagine driving a car with the parking brake engaged. You press harder on the accelerator. The engine struggles. You burn more fuel. Yet the car barely moves. From the outside, it looks like you're working hard, but one hidden brake is stopping your progress. Financial success works much the same way. Many people try to earn more without removing the invisible brakes inside their thinking. They work longer hours, take extra jobs, chase shortcuts. But deep down, they still don't believe lasting wealth belongs to them. So even when success arrives, they often sabotage it. They overspend, they hesitate, they quit too early, or they settle for less than they're capable of achieving. Here's something successful people understand. Money doesn't simply amplify your lifestyle, it amplifies your habits. If you have disciplined habits, more money gives those habits greater power. If you have careless habits, more money often magnifies those mistakes. That's why stories of lottery winners losing everything are more common than most people realize. The money changed overnight, their thinking didn't, and eventually their results returned to match their mindset. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine becoming the kind of person who naturally notices opportunities others ignore. The kind of person who invests in learning instead of endlessly consuming entertainment. The kind of person who asks, how can I create value instead of, why is life unfair? That shift changes everything. Because wealth isn't just about earning, it's about becoming. Every day your identity is shaped by tiny choices. Do you spend one more hour scrolling or one more hour learning? Do you complain about successful people? Or study what made them successful? Do you blame circumstances or build skills? These decisions may seem small, but over months and years, they create entirely different futures. One person drifts through life reacting to whatever happens. Another intentionally designs the person they want to become. The gap between them grows wider every single year. Here's something worth remembering. Your current financial situation is a chapter. It is not your identity. It is not your destiny. It is simply the result of thousands of past decisions, beliefs, and habits. And what has been created can also be recreated. That should give you hope. Because if thoughts influence actions, and actions shape habits, and habits create results, then changing the way you think can eventually change the direction of your life. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily, powerfully. One decision at a time. This journey isn't about pretending money falls from the sky. It's about understanding that lasting wealth is built from a combination of mindset, disciplined action, continuous learning, resilience, and the willingness to grow into a person capable of handling greater responsibility. The people who achieve extraordinary success rarely begin with extraordinary circumstances. Many begin with ordinary lives. What separates them is that they stop allowing yesterday's beliefs to dictate tomorrow's possibilities. And that raises an important question. If your beliefs have been quietly directing your financial life for years, who put those beliefs there? And more importantly, can they be rewritten? The answer to that question changes everything. Because once you understand how your subconscious patterns influence your decisions, you'll begin to see why two people can face the same opportunity and make completely different choices. And that's exactly where we're going next. In the next part, we'll explore the hidden operating system of the mind and why changing your financial future often begins by changing what you repeatedly tell yourself when no one else is listening. Part 2. The hidden operating system of your mind. Have you ever wondered why two people can read the same book, attend the same seminar, hear the same advice, And yet, years later, one has completely transformed their life, while the other remains exactly where they started. The difference often isn't knowledge, it's programming. Imagine buying the most advanced computer in the world. It has incredible speed, unlimited potential, and all the power you could ever need. But someone installs outdated software, filled with errors, fear, and limitations. No matter how expensive the hardware is, the results will always reflect the software running inside. Now consider this. Your mind works in a remarkably similar way. Every experience you've lived, every opinion you've accepted, every repeated emotion, every sentence you've believed about yourself has become part of your internal operating system. And whether you realize it or not, that system quietly influences the choices you make every single day. Think about your daily routine. Do you wake up excited about new possibilities? Or do you immediately think about everything that could go wrong? When an opportunity appears, do you ask, how can I make this work? Or do you instantly search for reasons it won't? Most of these reactions happen automatically, not because you're incapable, but because your brain loves familiarity. The human mind is designed to conserve energy. Instead of analyzing every situation from scratch, it creates patterns. Those patterns become habits, and habits eventually become your reality. This explains why change often feels uncomfortable. You're not only changing your actions, you're challenging the identity your brain has been protecting for years. Imagine someone who has believed for decades that they are bad with money. Every time they receive extra income, they spend it quickly. Not because they need to, but because spending feels familiar. Saving feels strange. Investing feels risky. Building wealth feels like something other people do. Without realizing it, they keep proving their old belief correct. This is how invisible patterns quietly shape visible outcomes. Now imagine someone with a different internal story. When unexpected money arrives, instead of asking, "What can I buy?" they ask, "How can I make this money work for me?" The amount of money may be identical, but the thinking behind it is completely different. And over time, those different decisions create dramatically different lives. Here's something fascinating. Your brain cannot always distinguish between an imagined experience and one that is vividly rehearsed. Think about the last time you watched a suspenseful movie. Your heart raced, your muscles tightened, your emotions became real, even though you were sitting safely on your couch. Your mind responded to the story as if it mattered. Now imagine telling yourself every day, "I'm never going to succeed. Nothing ever works out for me. I'll never have enough money." Those aren't just random thoughts, they're instructions. Your brain begins looking for evidence to support them. It notices failures more than opportunities. It remembers disappointments more than victories. Slowly, your world starts reflecting the story you've been repeating. But here's the good news. If repeated thoughts can strengthen limiting beliefs, repeated empowering thoughts combined with meaningful action can gradually build new ones. Notice the important phrase, combined with meaningful action. Positive thinking alone doesn't build businesses. Affirmations alone don't create investments. Visualization alone doesn't produce results. Real transformation happens when a healthier mindset influences better decisions. And better decisions are reinforced through consistent action. Imagine learning to play the piano. Reading books about music isn't enough. Watching concerts isn't enough. You improve by practicing. Your mind changes because your behavior changes. Financial growth follows a similar pattern. You don't become confident first and act later. Often, confidence grows because you continue acting despite uncertainty. Every responsible financial decision strengthens your identity. Every skill you develop increases your opportunities. Every promise you keep to yourself builds self-respect. And self-respect changes the way you approach life. Many people wait until they feel ready, but growth rarely asks for permission. It rewards commitment. The truth is, No one feels completely prepared to pursue a bigger dream. Successful people experience fear too. They simply refuse to let fear become the author of their future. Ask yourself this question: what story have you been telling yourself about money? Have you been saying, "I'll never get ahead. People like me don't become wealthy. Success belongs to someone else"? Or have you started asking, "I'll never get ahead. People like me don't become wealthy. Success belongs to someone else"? Or have you started asking, "What skills can I learn? How can I create more value? Who do I need to become to earn greater opportunities?" Notice how different those questions feel. One closes the mind, the other opens it. Your future is often shaped by the questions you consistently ask yourself, because every question directs your attention, and your attention influences your actions. There is another hidden pattern that quietly controls many lives. Comfort. Comfort is one of the most attractive places in the world. It's also one of the most dangerous. Comfort whispers, "Don't take the course. Don't start the business. Don't apply for that opportunity. Stay where it's safe." At first, it sounds like protection, but over time, comfort becomes a prison. Growth lives just beyond it. Every successful entrepreneur, every respected leader, every skilled investor, every accomplished creator had to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Not reckless, not careless, simply willing to grow. Because the life you want often requires becoming someone you've never been before. And becoming that person requires different habits, different conversations, different priorities, different standards. This is where genuine transformation begins, not when your bank account changes, but when your identity begins to change. Because once your identity evolves, your choices evolve, your habits evolve, your relationships evolve, and eventually, your results begin to reflect the person you've become. So before you chase more money, ask yourself a deeper question: who am I becoming every single day? Because the greatest investment you will ever make isn't in the stock market. It isn't in real estate. It isn't even in a business. It's in developing the mindset, character, discipline, and resilience that allow you to recognize opportunities, create value, and sustain success over time. And once you begin changing that inner foundation, something remarkable starts to happen. You no longer wait for life to change before taking action. You begin taking action, and life starts changing because of it. But that leads to another important question. If your mindset is becoming stronger, how do you turn that inner transformation into real-world results? How do thoughts become action? And how does action become lasting wealth? That's exactly where we're headed next. Because in the next chapter, we'll explore one of the most misunderstood ideas in personal development and discover why visualization without action is only half the equation, while purposeful action guided by a clear vision can become a powerful force for change. Part 3. Vision without action is only a wish. Now that you've begun to understand how your beliefs shape your decisions, a much bigger question appears. If your mindset is changing, how do you transform that invisible change into visible results? This is where many people become confused. They hear phrases like, manifest your dreams, think positively, visualize success, and they assume that simply imagining a better future will somehow make it appear. But life doesn't reward imagination alone. It rewards imagination followed by action. Imagine an architect. Before a single brick is laid, before a single wall is built, there is a blueprint. The blueprint gives direction, but no one expects the house to build itself. Workers still have to show up. Materials still have to be gathered. Problems still have to be solved. Your vision works the same way. A clear vision gives your mind direction. Your daily actions give that vision life. Without a vision, your effort becomes scattered. Without action, your vision remains a dream. The most successful people don't rely on hope. They rely on consistent execution. They wake up with purpose. They keep promises to themselves. They continue even when progress feels invisible. That's where true momentum begins. Think about planting a seed. You don't dig it up every morning to check whether it's growing. You water it, protect it, trust the process. Growth happens beneath the surface long before it becomes visible. Your personal growth follows the same pattern. At first, you may read books, learn new skills, develop healthier financial habits, practice discipline. And yet, your external life may look almost exactly the same. This is the stage where most people quit because they mistake invisible progress for no progress. But every meaningful transformation begins where no one else can see it. Just because the results haven't appeared yet doesn't mean the roots aren't growing. Every day you improve your knowledge, you become more valuable. Every day you improve your discipline, you become more reliable. Every day you improve your emotional control, you make better decisions. Eventually, those invisible improvements become visible opportunities. Now let's talk about something that separates dreamers from builders. Responsibility. It's easy to blame the economy. It's easy to blame your past. It's easy to blame luck. But blame has never built a successful life. Responsibility doesn't mean you're at fault for everything that has happened. It means you choose to become responsible for what happens next. That single decision changes everything. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what can I do about it? Those words may sound simple, but they shift your entire perspective. One question creates helplessness, the other creates possibility. The people who create extraordinary results don't wait for perfect conditions. They start with what they have. They improve one skill, read one chapter, save $1, build one relationship, launch one idea. Then they repeat the process again. And again, and again. Success rarely arrives as one giant breakthrough. More often, it arrives disguised as small decisions repeated over a long period of time. Now imagine two people. One spends 2 hours every evening watching content that entertains but teaches nothing. The other spends those same 2 hours learning communication, sales, leadership, investing, technology, or building a business. A year later, their lives begin looking different. 5 years later, the gap becomes enormous, not because one person was luckier, but because one invested in becoming more valuable. Value is one of the greatest secrets of lasting wealth. Money follows value. Businesses grow by solving problems. Careers grow by developing skills. Communities reward people who make life better. The more value you consistently create, the more opportunities naturally begin finding you. Ask yourself honestly, if someone paid you 10 times your current income, what kind of person would they expect you to become? Would they expect stronger communication, better leadership, greater discipline, more emotional control, more creativity, more responsibility? If the answer is yes, then perhaps the income you're hoping for isn't something to chase. Perhaps it's something to grow into. This changes the way you think about success. Instead of asking, how can I make more money? You begin asking, how can I become more valuable? Because valuable people solve valuable problems, and valuable problems are rewarded. Another powerful habit is learning to delay gratification. Modern life encourages instant rewards. One click, one purchase, one distraction after another. But lasting success often asks you to sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's freedom. Saving instead of spending, learning instead of scrolling, building instead of consuming, practicing instead of procrastinating. These choices aren't always exciting, but they quietly shape extraordinary lives. Remember, every disciplined decision is a vote for the person you're becoming. No one sees those votes. No one applauds them, yet they are creating your future. There will also be moments when doubt returns, A goal takes longer than expected. An investment fails. A business idea doesn't work. A promotion goes to someone else. Those moments don't mean you failed. They simply mean you've encountered part of the process. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's one of its greatest teachers. Every mistake carries information. Every setback reveals something you didn't know before. The question is never, will I experience challenges? The real question is, will I allow challenges to educate me or defeat me? The answer determines your future, because resilient people don't avoid obstacles. They become stronger because of them. And over time, that resilience becomes confidence. Not confidence based on empty words, but confidence earned through experience. As your mindset becomes stronger, your actions become more intentional. Your habits become more disciplined. Your vision becomes clearer. You stop chasing quick wins and begin building lasting foundations. Eventually, you reach a point where success is no longer something you desperately pursue. It becomes the natural result of the person you've worked hard to become. And yet, there is still one final piece of the puzzle, perhaps the most important one of all, because money can be earned, and money can also be lost. But the people who create lasting wealth possess something far more valuable than money itself. They possess a way of thinking that continues creating opportunities no matter what circumstances they face. So what truly separates those who build lasting abundance from those who never reach their potential? What habits, what standards, what identity create a person who thinks beyond limitations and acts with purpose? That's exactly where we're going in the final chapter. Because becoming wealthy isn't only about changing your income. It's about becoming the kind of person who can create value, lead with integrity, adapt to change, and continue growing for the rest of your life. And that's the mindset we'll explore next. Part 4, becoming the person who attracts success. If you've stayed with me until this point, you've probably realized something important. This journey was never just about money. Money was simply the invitation. The real transformation has always been about you, because before your income changes, your thinking changes. Before your circumstances improve, your standards improve. Before the world begins responding differently to you, you begin responding differently to the world. That is where lasting success begins. Take a moment and imagine two versions of yourself. The first wakes up every morning waiting for motivation. They blame the economy. They compare themselves to everyone else. They avoid difficult conversations. They postpone important decisions. They dream about a better future, but never truly commit to creating it. Now imagine the second version. They understand that motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. They keep learning even when no one is watching. They continue improving when progress feels slow. They choose responsibility over excuses. They focus on becoming better rather than looking better. Which version do you believe will have a different life 5 years from now? The answer is obvious. Not because one person is more talented, but because one person made a different decision, a decision to grow. Here's something many people overlook. Your future is built in moments that feel ordinary. The book you decide to read, the conversation you choose to have, the skill you begin learning, the money you decide to save instead of spend, the promise you keep to yourself when nobody else would ever know if you broke it. These moments seem insignificant, but they quietly shape your character, and character determines destiny more often than luck ever will. Think about a lighthouse standing beside a stormy ocean. The waves crash against it. The wind howls. Dark clouds fill the sky. Yet the lighthouse doesn't panic. It doesn't chase the ships. It simply stands firm. Guiding others through consistency. Become like that. Don't allow every headline, every opinion, every setback, or every temporary failure to determine who you become. Anchor yourself in principles, because principles outlast circumstances. One of the greatest principles is this: Your attention becomes your reality. If you spend every day feeding your mind with fear, you'll begin seeing obstacles everywhere. If you constantly compare your life to someone else's, you'll overlook the opportunities already in front of you. If you fill your mind with learning, growth, purpose, and possibility, your decisions begin reflecting those ideas. Little by little, your life changes direction. That doesn't mean life becomes easy. There will still be uncertainty. There will still be setbacks. There will still be days when nothing seems to go according to plan. But successful people don't expect a life without challenges. They expect themselves to become stronger than the challenges. That mindset changes everything. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What is this experience trying to teach me?" Instead of saying, "I can't," they ask, "How can I?" Instead of waiting for perfect timing, they begin with imperfect action. Because action creates clarity. Waiting rarely does. Another truth worth remembering. Success is not measured only by money. Money is important. It creates freedom. It provides opportunities. It allows you to care for the people you love. But if wealth comes without integrity, without purpose, without peace of mind, it eventually feels empty. Real success is waking up knowing your actions align with your values. It's becoming someone your family can trust, someone whose word means something, someone who continues growing regardless of external recognition. That kind of success can never be taken away because it lives within you. Imagine losing everything tomorrow. Every possession, every dollar, every title. Would you still possess the mindset, the discipline, the resilience, the knowledge, and the character to build your life again? If the answer is yes, then you've already discovered the greatest form of wealth, because money follows value, but value follows character, and character is built one decision at a time. Remember, no successful person became extraordinary in a single day. Every master was once a beginner. Every entrepreneur once faced uncertainty. Every investor once made mistakes. Every confident speaker was once nervous. Every successful life is built through thousands of ordinary decisions repeated with extraordinary consistency. So stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity. Those things rarely arrive first. Commitment comes first. Growth comes first. Action comes first. The opportunities often appear afterward. Tonight, before you go to sleep, ask yourself 3 questions. What belief about money or success do I need to let go of? What skill can I begin improving tomorrow? What one action can I take immediately that moves me closer to the life I truly want? Don't answer those questions casually. Write them down, because written goals have a way of becoming personal commitments, and personal commitments shape powerful lives. As you continue this journey, there will be moments when progress feels invisible. Keep going. There will be moments when doubt whispers louder than confidence. Keep going. There will be moments when people misunderstand your ambition. Keep going, because every meaningful dream requires patience. Every worthwhile goal demands consistency, and every remarkable life is built by people who refuse to quit simply because the results take time. Never forget this. The greatest investment you will ever make is the investment you make in yourself. No market crash can erase your knowledge. No recession can steal your discipline. No criticism can destroy your character unless you allow it. Those are assets that continue growing for the rest of your life. One day, you'll look back on this chapter of your life and you'll realize the moment everything changed wasn't when you earned more money. It wasn't when someone believed in you. It wasn't when circumstances suddenly became perfect. It was the day you decided to become the person capable of creating the future you wanted. That single decision, made consistently, day after day, will always be more powerful than luck. So as this video comes to an end, remember this final thought. Your future isn't written by your past. It's written by the choices you make from this moment forward. Choose growth over comfort. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose purpose over fear. Choose progress over perfection. And above all, never stop becoming, because the life you dream about isn't waiting for a different version of the world. It's waiting for a different version of you. If this message gave you a new perspective, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you're committed to building a stronger mindset, a disciplined life, and lasting success, subscribe and join this journey, because this is only the beginning. Before you leave, I want you to remember one thing. The person you are today does not have to be the person you become tomorrow. No matter where you started, no matter what you've been through, no matter how many times you failed, your story is still being written. Every sunrise gives you another opportunity to think differently, to choose differently, to live differently. Because a better future isn't built in one extraordinary moment. It's built through ordinary choices, made with extraordinary consistency. So when this video ends, don't let this simply become another piece of content you watched. Let it become a turning point. Take one idea from this video, apply it today, then apply it again tomorrow, and keep showing up even when no one is watching. Because one day, the life you've been quietly building will become the life everyone else calls success. And when that day comes, don't forget where it all began. Not with luck, not with perfect timing, but with one decision: to believe that you were capable of becoming more than yesterday. Thank you for giving me your time. In a world full of distractions, your attention is one of the most valuable gifts you can give. I truly appreciate that you chose to spend it here. If this video inspired you, challenged your perspective, or gave you even one idea worth carrying forward, consider subscribing and becoming part of this community. Here, we're not chasing quick success. We're building strong minds, meaningful lives, and a future we're proud to create. Until next time, take care of your mind, protect your vision, keep growing, and never stop becoming the person your future is waiting for. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.